I promise you, I guarantee your next hour is one of the most valuable hours you'll have this week. These three that I'm about to share with you will make the biggest impact for you. The 3 hacks to maximizing productivity. Number 1, I'll be sharing with you how to optimize your office setup to boost both your happiness and efficiency. Again, but 2 sides. And again, I'm going to drive this in 2 sides. Second, we're going to use a technology tool, I'm not going to share with you yet, to delegate tasks effectively to get work off your plate. And number 3, we're going to adopt the Get Shit Done framework, GSD framework. And I'm going to be, sorry for my language, but I will be repeating this. I think there was no better way to invoke for you to remember a framework than make it something that invokes emotion. This is the Get Shit Done framework. Hopefully this will be great, and I will drive it in. So again, I apologize for I'm going to be yelling this into the mic. This is going to be the Get Shit Done framework. It's very simple. It's 5 steps that I'm going to summarize how to get anything done. No more. We never have to worry about getting shit done if you just follow this framework. Okay? Simple enough. All right, let's get to it. Hack number 1, again, optimize and happy office setup. Whenever I have to come up with these things, I have to meditate on this for days and weeks. What am I going to share? How am I going to explain it? How am I going to talk about the benefits? So this, I think, is a very good way of thinking about our optimize and happy office setup. Okay? Think about it again. It's 2-sided, optimized against the law for efficiency kind of benefit. And there's also a happy component. So what is that? That is, it's about creating a workspace that not only you enjoy working in, but also maximizes productivity. You have to have both components. If you just have one, you don't have the other, then it's not really optimized and happy. Okay? So we need to have that framework in mind. It needs to be somewhere that you feel happy about working in. And it needs to be a setup that maximizes that productivity. A space that you feel happy about, that you have to love where you work, or you won't end up working. Okay? If you're not happy about where you are, and again, start thinking about, do I love my working space right now? And it's also designed for comfort and well-being. And a component that a lot of people miss, it's tailored to you, tailored to your preferences. There is no perfect setup that I could just share with you, and then you just set up the same system and you're going to get the same benefits. It has to be optimized for you, personalized to you, okay? I'll be sharing with you a bunch of resources, but from that, you have to be willing to try different things out. I'll share with you my setup in a second. I'll talk about it a little bit later. So let me share with you a resource that will help you with this. This is something that we're going to be filling out. All right, let's do it. Optimize and happy office setup. What does that look like? All right, number 1, and this is supposed to be a critical assessment. And if you have it, check it. If you don't have it, circle it. Number 1 is a fast computer. Critically ask yourself, is my computer fast enough? There's Apple computers, there's Windows computers. I'm a Mac boy. I was raised on Windows, but I became a Mac about 10, 15 years ago and never looked back. If you're on a Mac, you need to upgrade to an M chip. An M chip. The latest computers are on a new technology called M chips. If you're on a Mac, I highly recommend getting on the fastest computer you can invest in. If not, I wouldn't think of it as a cost. It's an investment. First of all, it's a write-off. All these things are write-offs for you. If you're making any kind of profit at the end of the year and you're paying taxes, why pay those taxes? You could just get something 40 to 50% off by just investing in it. So fast computer, Mac all the way, Mac Studio for the win. Great. Again, if you're a Mac, call to action, get on a chip. I cannot stress how much since I got my M1 chip about 2 or 3 years ago, how much I found myself in situations where I'm like, dude, this computer is so fast. I'm like, the speed that I'm working is such a huge competitive advantage compared to people that I'm competing against. Just because I could work faster, we get a lot more shit done. But just again, call to action, just critically ask yourself, do I have a fast computer? Okay. If you have it, check it. If not, circle it. Number 2, giant monitor. Giant monitor. This is a big topic for us internally for the last 3-4 years. I went from 24 inch to 27 to 34 to 49 to now 57 inches. And I found out through that experience that basically the bigger the monitor, the more productive it will be. As simple as that. I know people have different schools of thoughts, whether you should have 2 monitors side to side, 2 monitors over each other, monitor to this side, 3 monitors here. I think over time that I'm hearing every angle, I think this is one of those things that's personalized to you. Okay. So for me, my taste is 1 laptop here that's in front of me. I'm looking at my computer and my laptop right here. And then I have a monitor right over the laptop. That's my optimal setup. Just 1 external giant monitor and 1 laptop. But some people like 2. Some people like 3. It doesn't matter. You just need to make sure to have the biggest capacity of screen that you can handle in your room or on your desk. Number 3, high quality microphone. These days in 2024, this is not be an issue, especially when it costs $100 or less. You need to have a good sounding audio because we spend most of our time on Zoom these days. You need to sound good. Doesn't matter how good your presentation is. Doesn't matter how good your case is. If you don't sound good on audio, the opposing counsel and other people are not going to take you seriously and people are not going to hear you well. Also, it kills conversions. If you're talking to prospects or clients on the phone on Zoom and you don't have good audio, it does affect the presentation and the quality of the interaction. Easy win. One of the best $100 you could spend at your law firm. Get a high quality microphone. Again, I have all these resources that I'll share with you at the end to make sure you stick to the end. But we need to, again, if you don't have one, critically ask yourself, then you need to get a microphone. Number 4, easy to use camera. Easy to use. I didn't say the best camera. I didn't say DSLR or SLR camera. I said easy to use. I've experienced this because I have a nice camera here on my left side. I barely use it. The camera that I use for everything, and pretty much 90% of the stuff, is the camera on my MacBook Pro. Easy to use camera. Ideally, if it's something that's in your computer, I'm telling you that's the most optimal. Make sure your computer, the whatever computer you get, ideally, you should just ideally have that internal camera. That's the most optimal camera. Make sure that it's at least 1080. That's key. 720 unfortunately doesn't cut it. So yes, internal is always going to be better than external. Max, thanks for calling that out. Internal is always better than external. If you want to have external, it's okay, but just know there's an extra step for you to set it up or have it there blocking a view. It's annoying. It creates friction between you and creating videos. Again, I know this, I experienced this. I have to record a bunch of videos myself. If it's external, I'm less likely to record videos. If it's here, click record, I'll record. So easy to use camera is the call to action, 1080 at least. What are your thoughts on MacBook Air? And yes, I would highly recommend getting a MacBook Air, a MacBook Pro. It is a competitive advantage, again, to be on the faster computer. So yes, if your competitors and your people in your city are MacBook Air, you're a MacBook Pro, and you're working faster, again, take every competitive advantage you could get, especially when it comes to tech and tools and hiring and VAs, all these things. These are all little competitive advantages that really do add up. Number 5, comfortable chair. Comfortable chair, there's some things in life that doesn't matter what the cost is. In my head, I always think of it like a mattress is one of those things. The chair is one of those things that you're use on a daily basis. Those are no-brainers, okay? Get the best chair that feels comfortable to you. And everybody's different. Everybody's dealing with different pain points or whatever. I happen to go all out and I got a Herman Miller. It didn't have to be this crazy. Whatever that works for you. Again, I have a bunch of these resources, links that I could share with you. Best thing is, I think, to go check it out in person. Go to Costco, Office Depot, or these stores, or whatever store that's open. Go check it out. Again, the cost should not be an issue for something they use on a daily basis. Leon says, comfortable chair is something I neglected for too long and destroy my back. I'm so sorry, Leon. I'm so sorry, but it's all good. Just about what you do going forward. But let's move on. I have a lot to share with you. And the great questions, and please keep them coming. Ask away. I'll try to answer. If not, I'll try to answer at the end. Number 6, good lighting. Ideally, natural lighting if you can. But a lot of us don't have access to natural lighting if you're not facing a window. But at the very least, a ring light. A ring light. Do you have good lighting? That's the question. Again, I'll share with you resources. I'll share with you the ring light that I have or other inexpensive ring lights that you may need. So ring light is just a light that's right in front of you. It's like the best, easiest light. You could just get just one. Instead of having this fancy side things, if you just have a ring light in front of you, that will do. And I'll share with you my setup shortly as well. Number seven, high-speed internet. High-speed internet. You need to have a really fast internet, okay? You should know by now. Actually, no, sometimes you don't even know what you don't know. If you just go to speedtest.net, you could run a test. I don't want to do it right now because it might mess up my Zoom. Try to make sure that it's at least 100 megabytes download, but the upload really matters. So that when it comes to internet speed, there's upload and download. The upload matters more than download these days because upload is when you're giving, when you're on Zoom, that's more of an upload. So, and again, I'll share with you, I have to go look up what are the high-speed internet options. I'll share that resource with you at the end. But again, critically ask yourself, is my internet fast enough? Again, it's one of those things that you may not know whether it's fast enough until you upgrade it. That happened to me. Actually, I thought I had a good internet until I realized there's, I think, AT&T that provides provides internet for the same price. And as soon as I did that, my internet tripled. So that is huge also. Number 8, this is my latest discovery. I just discovered this 2 weeks ago. A fast mouse. There was this mouse that I was obsessed with that I keep buying 3 or 4 times. But unfortunately, it got discontinued. So I had to go buy 3 or 4 different mouses to try to find something else. And luckily, I found even a better one than that. And again, it's a competitive advantage. Even though I had a really fast mouse before, this is even better. Again, that I significantly noticed. I'm doing things faster just because I can move things faster and click things faster. That is huge too. Again, a lot of people don't think about the mouse. They use the same mouse you've probably been using for 5 to 10 years. You just upgrade that for $25. you'll have, again, a competitive advantage. What do you think about Mac trackpad? Great question, Ariel. Ariel, by the way, in the house, he's my brother-in-law. What's up, Ariel? Mac trackpad is one of those things that's really has to be tailored to you. If you're somebody who feels comfortable, and you be on a Mac, but if you see yourself being on a trackpad for five hours or more, and it's okay with you, by all means, that works for you. For me personally, I work faster with a mouse. So again, it's one of those things. I have another one of my friends, Jonathan. He loves working on a trackpad, so that's his thing. But for me, I'm a mouse. So again, it's one of those things that is personalized to you. If you feel comfortable, by all means, not get on a mouse. Number 9, reliable printer. Yeah, as Phil says, have a hard time drag and drop with the trackpad. Easier with the mouse for me. Exactly. Yeah, that's one of those things. It's kind of annoying for me personally too. But number 9, reliable printer. A printer that prints when you want it to print. If it does, great. And is it fast enough? These days, obviously, there's laser printers. Make sure it's a laser printer that prints things right away. If you don't have one, circle it. Number 10, a fast scanner. Everybody loves the, got the name of it, Fujitsu one. Again, I'll share with you the resources for all these things. This is going to be sent, so come forward to attorneys for reference and guidance. Amanda, it's usually shared live, and also I believe the recording of this will also be posted in Lawyer Club. But I've found out from experience that when you're here live, you're probably 10 to 15 times more likely to actually consume it and get value from it than when you watch it live. So yeah, try to get as much of it as you can while you're here. Yes, ScanSnap is the one that everybody loves. Again, yep, Nadine and Pamela and Michelle, you guys are spot on. And number 11 is what I call, actually my wife came up with this one, is happiness props. Things that make you happy. A lot of people miss this. That could be plants or books or cleaning out stuff, okay? Do you have happiness props? Do you have pictures of your family around? Do you have affirmations on the wall? Do you have things that make you happy? Happiness props, okay? Critically, again, look around. Do I feel happy here? What can I add to this environment? Do I have pictures of my family here? Oh, maybe I should add a picture of my family here. Do I have a charging station? Do I have things that make me happy? Surround yourself with happiness. For me, I'm more of a minimalist, so I like keeping it relatively very clean and organized. That's my happiness props, with books all around me, with good lighting. That's my happiness prop. Michelle has pictures of her husband and kids and a small globe to remind me of my goal to travel the world. Amazing, Michelle. That is a perfect happiness prop. Rebecca asks, how do you handle equipment for contractors who are supposed to use their own and flexible work arrangements? Employees can work from home and also go to the office. So whenever people join our team, I'm going to say, hey, do you have this stuff? First, I'm going to make sure that they're going to be with our team. So maybe after 30 or 60 days, then I will ask them, hey, are you happy with your setup? Do you need a better audio? Do you need better camera? Things like that. At that point, then yeah, it's well worth investing. I remember when I upgraded to my 57, I decided to give my 47 to one of my top directors. And I know as soon as I did that, his productivity went up. And because of his productivity went up, then our entire company's productivity went up. So yeah, totally. And this also is very relevant also first yourself, then your higher level top people at your firm. All right. So this is my super optimized. Why did I say optimized? Is because whatever you see on the screen, I've probably returned 3 times more stuff than you see on the screen. So that means for me to be able to get this mouse, I would probably return 5 mouses to get this mouse. For me to get this microphone that you see right here, I've tried out 4 or 5 different microphones for me to settle on this. This camera, same thing with that. Charging station here. Let me just do a little, my breakdown for me. Could take inspiration or clues or whatever you think that will help you. I have my main ring light here. This is why you see right now the light is good. It's because of this right here that you see. I also have this light right here called a light bar. Again, all these links to all one of these will be shared with you in a resource at the end. It's a light bar. I love this. I can't work without it. It basically puts light on my table for whatever reason, because I love light so much. I cannot work without it. I always have to turn that on. Then as I shared with you, I have this 57 Behemoth giant monitor, which is amazing. I have a Stream Deck here, which might be one of the things I could talk about later. It's not one of the 3 points that I'll share with you today, but that is a kind of like an automation tool, which I could talk about later. I have this fancy SLR camera that I rarely use on the left side. I have light here for this camera if I happen to use this camera here. So that's that. A couple months ago, I got this station here. I'm able to put my iPhone right here on the left and put my iWatch and my backup AirPods Pro here. And I have a fan here. I have speakers here in the back, little by little. And then I have my audio interfaces here, and I have even more audio interfaces down here. And it is a standing desk. Usually whenever I do presentations or things like that, I found out that I talk better when I'm standing. That might be the case for you too. I didn't add the standing desk onto the list because the list was going to get too long, but a good standing desk is also key. This is my recipe. Doesn't necessarily have to be yours, but I'm sure you have to get some clues here, what you can add on that will make a difference for you. Is a charging station on your list of recommended tools? It's not, but I will because you reminded me, Michelle. I will definitely add that. I don't think I see anything else. I have a fast charging cable here. If I need to charge it faster, I put it here. If not, I use this. What else? Yeah, I think pretty much that covers it. And then the microphone, it's probably the most expensive microphone you can that anybody could get at this point. I think it's overkill. I put the link for the one that I think most people should use, again, at the resource that I'll share with you. And yes, I forgot the plant wall. Yes, that is a fake flower wall, which again is my happiness prop. This is definitely my happiness prop. I love it. Ever since I got it a year or 2 years ago, it makes me feel, it kind of livens things up. The microphone is this Sennheiser. Again, I'll share with you the link. The link for the Sennheiser, my microphone is in the resource, but I do think it's overkill. It's $1,000 just for this. Don't think everybody needs it. I think there's a better one, Shure SM7B, that I think is better for the bang for your buck. Nice, exactly. Green is good for your eyes too. Yes, there's a lot of studies done when you have plants. Obviously, the real ones usually. Even I guess the fake ones could liven up the mood. So yeah, totally. So feel free to take a picture if you want a picture of it. I could put the link in the chat for the picture. Here, if anybody wants a picture, let me share the link or get a screenshot of it in the chat. No, didn't work. Let me try it one more time. All right, let's move on. All right, and again, I'll share with you all the links. Let's go to hack number 2. Was that so good, by the way? Good? Oh yeah, the call to action. On your worksheet, please write down, I need to upgrade what? What do you need to upgrade? Or at least write down what category so that when I share with you the link, you have to go get the links, do your own research, and find the right one for you. Right? Actually, before we move on, please let me know in the chat, what do you need to upgrade before we move on? What are you looking to upgrade based on what I just shared with you before we move on? Happiness, props, monitor, and chair, David says. All of it. Stephanie says, lighting, good max, computer, monitor, mic. Great. You got some shopping to do. Again, if you make money and you have some profits at the end, I don't know if you guys ever deal with this. In December, start scrambling to try to figure out things to spend money on because of taxes. This is one of those things you should just, bite the bullet and go for it hopefully this weekend. Good. Pamela, happiness props, internet, and printer. Very good. Good. Monitor. Good. All right. Hack number 2, Loom all day long. Loom all day long. Hopefully this will stick to your head also. What is Loom? Some of you may already know it. I've been talking about this for at least 4 years. Some of you may not know, so let's cover it. And if you already, I'll talk about even if you're using it, how to use it on a higher level. But hack number 2 is Looming all day long. Okay? It's a screen recorder. It's a simple screen recorder, and it helps you delegate all day long. Looming all day long. For me, I'll save it for later. There's always things that come to me, maybe just not the right time for it. Okay? So the mindset is, the more you can delegate, the more you can achieve. Okay? If you delegate more, you achieve more. Direct correlation. Rebecca says, why not just use Zoom? Good question. I'm gonna discuss this in a second, Rebecca. Very good question. What does Loom do? It allows you to provide instructions to clarify expectations and reduce misunderstandings when you're delegating. Okay? It's the best tool for delegating. And it's also perfect for creating your SOPs. We've had a couple of different trainings on SOPs. We're not going to do a training on SOPs, but this is the tool that helps you with the best tool that helps you with creating your SOPs. Okay? Also, Loom has an AI feature that they released 4 months ago. It's a game changer. It's only $4 or $5 per month. It automatically understands what the video is about and automatically creates your titles for you and writes a description for you so that you don't have to, literally, it's the fastest way to be able to just record something and just send it, and automatically also copies the link for you. It's amazing. And it also allows you and empowers your team. It's not just for you, it's also your team should be utilizing Loom. Empowers your team to take on more responsibilities, allowing you to focus on high value tasks. The more you Loom, the more you're able to delegate, the more you're able to achieve. Simple as that. So what is it? This is what it looks like. There's 2 ways to use it. There's a Chrome little extension, or there's a desktop app. I highly recommend downloading the desktop app. I found out that the desktop app is much easier, quicker, faster. So I'll share with you the link with you in a shortly about how to download it. You download this software on your computer. I'm pretty sure it's on Mac and Windows. And then it goes into and I'll try to show a demonstration of it live, but it will be a button in your toolbar that you press. Once you press that, you have instead of talking about it, let me just show it. Why am I talking about it? All right, it's sitting right here on the, of course, turn around, I'm going to click on it. Here, let me showing it on my other monitor, of course. Let me try to bring it down here. Here we go. All right, so it sits on your, these are all enabled. Why is this? There we go. So when you click on it, one button, And it will allow you to select what to record, which is usually you want it to be for your full screen, which is this monitor. Allows you to pick your camera. Right now it's using my computer's camera. And it allows you to select your microphone. Again, all these should be set by default once you do it once. And what I do is I try to make it bigger and I bring it to the top right side. Why? Because let me click, and then all I do is click start recording. Hi, Sarah. I'm about to share with you how to sign up more clients using our CRM. So whenever a lead comes in, what you want to do is go here and do this and do that. And the reason why, by the way, I moved this to the right is because whenever you're speaking, you're sharing your screen, you're usually looking down. Let's just say like right here, you're looking down. So if the thing's on the top right, then people follow where your eye is and they're able to look at the screen. And all I do, I record the instructions, whatever that needs to get done. Usually takes like a minute or two, unless if it's something that's, very detailed. It usually doesn't take longer than a couple minutes. All I do, I click finish, and now it automatically creates a page with the video uploaded with AI that generates the instructions for the title and a summary. In this video, I'll show you how to effectively sign up more clients using our CRM. I'll walk you through the process step by step, blah, 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 blah. It gives also written instructions for what you just explained. And there's also a lot other AI, other features. It's able to remove filter words. So let me just do that. Remove silences automatically. Hi, Sarah. Today I'm about to show you how to sign up more clients using our CRM. So whenever a lead comes in, what you want to do is go here and do this and do that. And the reason why, by the way, I moved this to the right is because whenever you're speaking, you're sharing your screen, you're usually looking down. Let's just say like right here, you're looking down. So if the thing's on the top right, then people follow where your eye is and they're able to look at the screen. And all I do, I record the instructions, whatever that needs to get done. Get the idea, okay? Quick way to get things off your plate is to say, hey, let me record this. Let me send this off. And usually I pair this up with Slack. I use Slack to send this off. Hey, can you get this done by today, end of day today? Can you get this done by Wednesday? Simple way to get these things off your hands for one-offs. Or if you're trying to create an SOP, here's how to sign up more clients. Again, you write out the role. Again, I don't want to make it a SOP instruction training, but it's as simple as kind of this is what needs to get done. These are the steps, and here's a recording of it. And that's how you're able to get things off your plate. And again, I'll share with you the AI features as well. That is huge. If you go to, let me share with you the link to actually download Loom first. And again, I recommend the desktop version. I'll put the link in the chat. Just go to this link that I just shared in the chat. Is it working? Here you guys are getting the right links. If that doesn't work, try this one. Here we go. Download the desktop app, try it out, practice with it, do it a couple of times. Maybe after a couple of days or a couple of weeks, sign up for for paid accounts. It's like 10, 12, 15 bucks a month. And it makes a world of a difference. Does it have a max number of users? No. I would recommend signing off with just, getting an account yourself, start using it yourself. And then once you start using it, then you could actually send an invite to your team members. I'll start off with like higher level kind of team members. Hey, if you can start using this tool to delegate. I know a couple of questions are coming in. Kia mentioned, my operations officer mentioned Loom. Now that I see it, I'm excited to start using it. Very good, Leah. Kia, Max, never heard of it. Yes, I delegate a ton of work all day. Great, amazing. Again, the mindset is Loom all day long. Loom all day long. For like 3-4 years, I was in the Loom all day long kind of space. Now I'm a little bit more in this working with the director, so I'm not as delegating as I was before. Our directors are delegating more, but this makes a huge difference for a lot of us, to delegate all day long. However, a PSA, I always have to say, whenever I bring up a tool, I always get a question about the pricing, how much is it, things like that. I just put it out there. PSA, please don't overthink tool costs. Please don't. I've been trying to drive this in to our members and people who have been following my lead. When it comes to tools, it just comes down to this fundamental mindset. If you use it, it's worth it. If you don't use it, it's not worth it. If you use a tool, every tool is worth it. If you don't use a tool, it's not worth it. It's a very polarizing way of deciding whether a tool works or not, is worth it or not. Okay? It doesn't matter if this tool was $300 a month. If you use it, I promise you it's worth it. If you don't use it, then it doesn't matter if it's $10 a month, it's not worth it. This tool, if you happen to want to know how much it is, I believe it's $15 a month or something. Yeah, $15 a month. Well worth it. So I would recommend, and I've talked about Loom before. Again, sometimes I have to repeat things. Again, this should be a call to action. If you sporadically use Loom, start using it more. Go sign up for the paid account and just start using it more and more and get your team on it now too. Good so far? Yes? Who's going to start using Loom now? Let me know in the chat. A couple of things. Yeah, Amanda says, I'm a Loom rocks. Sam made me a Loomer. Amazing. Joe just added AI to Loom. Amazing. Nicole says the Loom videos really help in training new hires also. They can go through the videos. They can ask different questions later, make it easier and more efficient. Exactly. That's what I mean by SOPs. Amazing, Nicole. Thank you for sharing that. Jessica asked, what if you need to send a different type of task depending on teams? Can I use other accounts to mine to use the same time but with different users? Or would I need to create user per team? So I would think about your law firm as a team. So again, start off with yourself, then your higher level, and slowly trickle down. What I do, my own Loom account, have folders created for the different law firms and different things. So depending on what it is, each of these law firms have their own folders, whether it be marketing, operations, whatever, etc. Each have their own kind of SOPs. And what I could do actually is a perfect place where I store my SOPs too. So that way, if I'm training somebody, whatever, besides sometimes, obviously dropping it in my SOPs, I also store it in folders here. And when somebody joins a department, sometimes I give access to the entire Loom folder. I'm like, hey, whatever you probably need, it's probably in this folder. So look into this folder first. So that's how to do it. Nice. Yeah, and Michelle also brought up a good point. I need to use them more with clients rather than repeating myself on meetings to explain documents. Yes, absolutely. Giving instructions to your clients is a very good way to use it. For that, I created a funnel. Every time somebody signs up, it's a funnel. As soon as the retainer agreement is signed, they're sent to a page which has instructions for what to do next. It's basically just a headline video with a button that goes to a form where people could give us their documents. But yeah, that could be a Loom video as well. All right, so far so good. Let's go to hack number 3 and probably the most impactful one. I mean, the other two have been good, but this is really good too. It's the get shit done framework. Oh yeah, so yeah, let me answer Joe's question just for clarification. How's Loom better than Zoom clips? I was contemplating. I did try out Zoom clips. It wasn't as intuitive, and it wasn't as simple as Loom. Loom was just like it's sitting right in my desktop. It's right there. It has the eye feature, which already creates the headline and description. So I basically stopped using Zoom clips, and I use Loom. And then also, I know a lot of people try to create these videos with Zoom. I don't recommend that because you get the recording. Sometimes I do that if I'm training somebody on Zoom. I get the recording and then I upload that to Loom. So I use that as the backend kind of upload place to store my SOPs. So yeah, you can do that too. All right, let's go to hack number 3, the get shit done framework. It's very simple. Okay, if you're trying to get anything done, this is the framework. As easy as this. And I had to think deep about this and meditate on this. This is ultimately what it comes down to. Number 1, and you have to stick to this. This is like, for me, this is my secret recipe, by the way. I came up with this. I think it's genius. I think you should use it too. So number 1 is to write out a clear, actionable plan. Write out a clear, actionable plan. It starts off with you writing it down. I know how I came up with this. Just earlier in this week, I was chilling. My friends were over checking out the new car that I just got. And we're just talking about how do we get stuff done. And a couple of my friends were kind of struggling with getting to the next level. And I started kind of sharing my recipe for how I get done. And I said, every time you're trying to get something done, the recipe, the part that everybody misses is writing it down. Writing it down. Before you get started, before you do it, you need to have it written down. In a written format on a pen and paper, or at least typed out. It's crucial. You need to write down your plan before you do it. Crucial. I cannot stress this enough, okay? Write out a clear, actionable plan. Actionable and clear. Number 2, a lot of people miss this, with a deadline for each step. Each step that needs to get done needs to have a clear timeline. When am I going to accomplish this by? Plan with the deadline. Number 3, that can be accomplished in 1 to 3 days. Not this week, not this month, not this quarter, not this year, in either that day or within the next 3 days. This is the part of urgency. I had this whole talk with my friends. A lot of people want to get shit done, but they don't have the urgency, okay? Your plan needs to be accomplished in the next day to 3 days. If your plan cannot be accomplished in the next 1 to 3 days, then it means your plan is not an actionable plan. It's just a dream plan, okay? Plan is only for that day, what you can accomplish that day in the next 3 days. So you kind of simplify it. You kind of go straight to the shortcuts, be very resourceful. If I have to get this done in the next 3 days, how would I do this? When you start thinking like that, your time horizon changes. It's kind of like Parkinson's law kind of kicks in, right? However much time you have is however long it takes. I always have this huge back and forth with our team. This needs to get done. This needs to get done. And my mindset is, when I say that, is like that day. And then I get reports back, oh, we're planning on doing this month. I'm like, what are you talking about? This could have been done today. If I would have just done it myself, I would have got this done today. It's that urgency to get it done. Sorry for the rants. I just feel really passionate about this. Number 4 is that you delegate. None of these tasks should be done by yourself. Ideally, it should be delegated, okay? You can't be the one doing it, at least not all of it. You need to delegate or hire for it. If you don't have the people, then you need to hire. There's a whole hiring process for that. These are all part of the frameworks are part of our program. We first make sure that your setups and your hiring is good before we even get to client generation, okay? Ideally, these are things that you delegate for other people to get done for you. And your job is just make sure to hold your team accountable to make sure it gets done by the deadline. It's very simple. Again, I'm going to repeat this over and over. I'm sorry to be a little bit overly, annoying about this, but I think it's very important and valuable. Also, we're going to be driving this on. The Get Shit Done framework is, number 1, you need to put it down on paper with a clear, actionable plan. Number 2, every step needs to have a clear deadline, clear the date and time that you're going to accomplish that. Number 3, it needs to be done in the next day to 3 days max. Shorten that time horizon. Number 4, look around. Who in my team can help me with this? If you find yourself like, I don't have the people to help me do this, then that's a sign that you need people. At the very least, VAs, virtual assistants, are a lot more inexpensive, a lot less less risky that you can hire for very specialized roles. Anytime we have technical stuff, we try to go to the technical people. When we have an email issue, whatever, you go to that person. Anytime we need copywriting, we need to go for that person. That we delegate. And your role is to make sure that this gets done by the deadline. Here's a good part. I have this that I could share with you, that it could be printed out. Go to the link in the chat that I just shared with you. There's really no excuses for this. Go ahead and print this and put this on your wall. It's the Get Shit Done framework. It's going to be plastered on your wall. Anytime you're stuck and you can't get stuff down, start with number 1, write it out. Number 2, write out a deadline for each step. Number 3, make sure that it can be accomplished in the next 1 to 3 days. Number 4, try to delegate it out. Number 5, hold the person or the contractor or your team member accountable to make sure it gets done by deadline. Give me a hell yeah in the chat if you're on this. This really is a secret to just getting shit done. Good. That's right. GSD. There we go. Get shit done. And again, it starts with you. And also, hopefully it will come down to your team to follow the same framework. Struggling? Follow the GSD. All right? Can't get something done? Use the GSD framework. Now that hopefully it's printed and going to be placed on your wall, you don't have to worry about forgetting this. Good, Max. Good, Nicole. Good, Camille and Shelly, Michelle. Good. All right? So this is all about embracing productivity. Because why? Because done is better than perfect, right? Done is better than perfect. People who I've been saying this for the past 4.5 years, it's been a while that I've said it. Done is better than perfect. So we want to shift from planning to action by adopting the 3 hacks that I shared with you. Hopefully they're, again, stuck in your head. Make sure my office environment is good, optimized, and happy. I want to try to Loom all day long. And 3rd, I want to use the GSD framework to transition from a task-oriented to a more of a result-oriented kind of person. We also want to create a firm culture. This goes beyond you. Build a workplace that values efficiency, clear communication, and emotional well-being and happiness to enhance the productivity and employee satisfaction. Obviously, this comes within, the person has to get shit done for this to obviously stick. But if you stick to it, then hopefully your team will also catch on to it. And also requires continuous improvement. It's not one of those things that you just do once and that's it. Now, this is one of those continuous improvements. Regularly measure the effects of these implementations. Focusing on how is when your time goes to more high value tasks. And you see that improvement in not just in your job satisfaction, your team's job satisfaction, but also your happiness. Just literally this week, I calculated my hourly rate from 2023. I have a new mindset shift going forward, completely new. So you need to know what your value of your time is. And you need to, again, be smart, be clear with your vision.